Entrance. Yeah, it's working.
Thank you.
Does it sound good?
Hello.
Yeah, there we go. We got it. Okay, we're gonna get started, and everyone else is just gonna be late. So, if you guys don't know, I'm sitting here with Ron Lim. You guys know, right? Like, what panel are we in? I don't know. Come on in, you guys. Take a seat anywhere. We're just getting started. You've missed nothing except me telling you who's sitting here. Yeah, we're keeping it loose, you guys, at the end of the day.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, my name is Kelly. I'm a librarian here. This is Ron Lim. You guys know who he is. He is a comic book artist who has drawn for Marvel, DC, Image, and more over a career spanning over 2 decades. He is best known for helping establish Marvel's cosmic universe as we know it, with titles like Silver Surfer, Infinity War, and Thanos. I think some of these covers you will see as we chat. So we are just here chatting today with Ron Lim. I'm going to talk to him for a while. You guys are going to have a chance to ask questions. It's going to be fantastic. So, Ron.
Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
So I read about you because I stalked you on Wikipedia before you came here, which is a good way to meet another person. I read that you were discovered by Marvel. Is that true?
Yes. Well,
can you tell us the story? Because that sounds like pretty fantastic.
Well, probably sounds more exciting than it was. Because I was doing samples for Marvel and DC for like years. I'd send them samples, I get rejection letters back saying, "Good try, try again another year, whatever." So I thought, all right. They kept sending them back in and then finally at WonderCon in Oakland, the editor-in-chief of Marvel was there, and then a bunch of other top editors were there. And so I did samples. I brought them to the editors and showed it to them, and expecting the same thing, come back in a year. But the editor's like, "Hey, we like your stuff. We'll give you some, like a tryout job. So if you make your deadline and we like your stuff, then we'll give you more work."
Nice.
That's how it started.
And what was the job that they tried you out on?
It's a Black Panther story.
Oh,
yeah.
How timely.
Yeah, I know. What the chances of that?
Are you looking forward to the movie?
Oh, yeah.
So is it different now for comic artists who are trying to break in than what you did? How do you try to get into the industry now?
Well, it's totally different. I mean, now just with the internet, totally different. You get your work out there, everyone can see it. You can color and stuff on the computer now. Back in my days, it was like paper, pencil.
Yeah, like a slave.
Yeah.
With your pencils.
Like crayons, So yeah, it's totally different. I mean, now it's like you can expose your work in so many different ways.
So now, do you still, as an artist, if I was like a young artist trying to be published by Marvel, would I still send them work, or would they kind of come to me?
They actually actively look now instead.
Okay.
And they actually don't accept submissions anymore. I think because there's so many people pour submissions in, I don't think they can keep track of it anymore. So.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot different than when I did it.
Rough days.
Yeah. I know. But there's so many more companies out there now. It's like, There's so many more comics out because back in the day it was just Marvel, mainly Marvel and
Yeah.
DC, maybe Image, and that was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
So you had to get one of those.
Yeah.
Or else you're finished.
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
So, Ron, did you always want to be an artist, or did you consider doing other stuff?
I did. At first, I wanted to be an animator,
Oh.
like at Disney or something. 'Cause I
Dude,
love
we have like an
cartoons.
animation theme going because we had Svetlana Chmakova
Oh, yeah.
in here 2 hours ago, and she was showing us her animations from school, and then she
Oh,
was
really?
like, "Yeah," and then I quit animation school.
Really?
Yeah, she's like, I loved it, but it was like 135 drawings for like 10 seconds.
yeah, right. Animation, yeah. So I tried to get into that, but like I discovered comics, and I was like, oh, I like comics even more. So I started doing samples for comics instead of doing the cartoon thing. And so yeah.
Were there like comics that? Do you remember what comics made you be like, forget
The first
animation?
the first comic I liked was Fantastic Four.
Oh.
Yeah, because I used to read all the like, Richie Rich, Hot Stuff, Archie's, Then one day my parents brought me home to Fantastic. Like, what the heck is this? It's like, it's a serious story, action. I'm like, so that's the one that grabbed me.
That grabbed you.
Yeah.
Did you ever get a chance to work on any Fantastic
Oh,
Four
yeah.
stuff?
I've drawn a lot of Fantastic Four.
Wow. Childhood
Well,
dreams.
Marvel,
That's amazing.
At Marvel, I've drawn almost everybody at Marvel. I
Almost
think.
everyone?
Almost.
So who is your favorite to draw, your favorite character?
Well, back then it was the Surfer because I grew up liking that character a lot. But
Uh-huh.
I drew him for 6 years though on the books, and I'm tired of him.
Tired of Silver
Yeah,
Surfer.
so I like. I still like Spider-Man. The Thing is one of my favorite characters.
So do you you're like tired of reading their stories because you're tired of drawing
Oh
them?
no. I'm just tired of drawing them. That's not true because I haven't drawn them in a while. But I mean,
Uh-huh.
when I left the title, I was
You're like,
done with Surfer.
done.
Yeah. I mean, I still like the character. Just I didn't want to draw them
Are,
anymore.
are there any like characters you haven't got a chance to draw that you wish you could draw?
The only character that I really want to draw that I haven't is a DC character, is Batman.
Oh,
I did Superman, I did Flash, I did Green Lantern, but no Batman.
so what would your take on Batman be? Like,
A surfboard?
yeah,
No, I don't know.
perfect. A bat surfboard.
A little shiny. I don't know.
That'd be perfect. So you worked on a lot of Silver Surfer stuff.
Yeah, I did 6 years on Surfer.
And was that the first comic that you worked on after
The
Black
first
Panther?
big title. 'Cause I did Cyforce for Marvel. Well, the
Okay.
first job I did was not Marvel. It was a book called Ex Mutants. It was
Okay.
for a small company. And then I went to Marvel and did Cyforce, which is nobody knows. And then I got Surfer.
Should we know it? Is it good?
No.
Okay.
That's all right.
Don't look for that one, you guys.
Yeah, don't stress out about missing out on Cyforce.
And what is the last comic that you worked on?
The last one?
Yeah.
Most recently?
Like most recently. Like
just-
what
I
did
did-
your pen just come off the
I think I
page
just did a
of?
Venom story for Venom 150.
Yeah?
Yeah. So that was my most
Is
recent.
is it out yet?
Yeah, it just came out a couple months ago, I think.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But I do a lot of covers now, for variant covers for Marvel.
Yeah. So you have a lot of covers up here that
Yeah,
we're looking at.
I did the
Now,
founders.
is it different doing cover work than doing like interiors? What's the difference and how does the process work?
Well, the covers they're different because they're like poster shots. It's just one image, so it's kind of like a action shot or something that brings the readers in. Whereas the interiors are all storytelling, so it's more of a story kind of thing. I like both. They're both different.
So is a cover like cool pose?
Yeah, it's more like drawing an illustration, right? It's like
And
cool
so
pose. That's my motto.
Make it a cool pose.
And it's true though. Don't want them in a lame pose.
Did they? I have no idea how comics publishing works.
Yeah.
I wish I knew more.
Yeah,
I'm gonna find out
how
more
they're
right
made, you
now. Well, so do they tell you when they're like, we want you to do a variant cover for the
Yeah.
XYZ, and like we want them in like this pose, or do
No.
they kind of give you?
They'll tell me what the title is, and then kind of give me like a skeleton kind of plot, I guess.
Okay.
So I can kind of draw it around that idea. It's like like if Surfer's fighting Spider-Man, then I know what that story is, so I do that. Otherwise, it's like nowadays, because back 10 years ago, it was more story focused. So I would do covers that are based on the interior story. Now it's mostly
love
more
this
poster
one.
shots.
The Zoom Zoom.
That's my Zoom cover.
This isn't exactly story based. I would guess.
Yeah. No, not that one.
So when you do like interiors or regular, what is the process like? So they give you a script, I understand.
Yeah.
And so I have heard rumors, but I've never talked to a Marvel
Rumors.
artist that the Marvel scripts are like looser and like the artist gets more free
Before,
reign.
not anymore. They
Oh,
changed.
not
They used to have a
today.
thing called Marvel Style,
Mhm.
which was like a loose plot. They would send me like a page that they'll kind of just describe it in like paragraph form.
Uh-huh.
Now it's more scripted and it's more broken down by panels for me. So I mean, I don't think that Marvel style is even used hardly at all anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
so which way do you prefer it?
I like both. 'Cause, the newer version, I can read the dialogue, which helps. Because the other one, they script it after I draw it.
Oh.
So I draw it, and they get it back and say, "What's this?" And I have to put dialogue in.
So wait,
Yeah.
if you do that, do you like leave room in your art for speech
Oh,
bubbles and
yeah.
you just like don't know what they're gonna say?
Yeah.
You're like something
Yeah.
smart
I just-
here.
Yeah. And occasionally the writer will say, this will be a big dialogue panel. Leave a lot of room. So I draw like a little head in the corner, and they'll fill it in. So yeah, it's.
So both ways have their
I
advantages.
enjoy both, but I mean, the plot, the old Marvel style was more fun in terms of, 'cause I can just do whatever I want basically.
Right.
This more structure, but this gives more an idea what's going to happen. I guess. Yeah. So I like
Less
both.
decision making.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. Yeah. And some writers will draw out panels too.
Oh really?
That's not so fun.
You don't love that?
I don't need a blueprint.
So since we're talking about process from scripts, so then what's your process once you get a script or an idea?
So the writer will send me a script. Then I break it down in thumbnails. I draw these little tiny versions of them, just to see how it looks on the flow of the page.
Right.
And then once that's like if I like it, then I just go draw on the full size page, and then in blue pencil. So it's like light. Back in the day, it was non-photo blue because they used to shoot everything on photo.
Oh.
You ever heard of those? and so this
like with film.
Yeah. And so this blue wouldn't show when they shot it. So I could like leave the sketch lines there and it wouldn't show when they reproduced it, right?
Uh-huh.
But now it's all digital, so it doesn't matter. I still use the blue because it's easier.
So how much of your drawing do you do digitally these days?
Well, I do kids' books for Marvel as well. So almost.
Yeah, you guys can pick up some of them at the Elusive booth
That's
right next
Yeah.
door.
Yeah, almost all. Well, over half of that's digital, but comics is all still hand drawn.
Really?
It's still like old paper and pencil thing.
And then, so what's your final product? Like, what do you hand over to like the next person?
Well, when I finish my thing, it's just pencils. So
Just pencils.
It'll be just pencils. Then it'll go to the inker next.
Mhm.
Then the letter will ink it digital. Well, ink it. He'll letter it digitally, and then colors does it digitally as well. So once I get done with it, once it's inked, then it goes to those two people, and they print it from that.
So you draw on paper with pencils, and then you scan it in?
I scan in, yeah, scan in a high-res scan, because like now I don't have to even send them the original art anymore. They just ink it off the scan, which blows my mind.
That's amazing.
Yeah, because I used to go to FedEx. I used to live at FedEx. Literally every other day, I'd go to FedEx, copy it, and then not FedEx. I'd copy it, and go to FedEx, and then send it off every other day. But now I never leave the house. I just scan it in, and it's gone. That's it. Yeah, a lot easier.
So you have worked on like so much stuff. Do you prefer working on like one thing continuously for a long time, or do you prefer like jumping around doing a little everything?
That's a good question. I like both. I mean, I did like working on Surfer for a long time.
Because you said you were sick of
6
Silver
years, but
Surfer.
that was too long, I think. I mean, doing very different stuff is more interesting. Like all the covers I'm doing now, it's a lot of fun because they're all different characters, they're all different situations, so that's a lot of fun. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like both.
Both.
Yeah.
So now I want to talk a little bit about Marvel's cosmic universe.
Yes.
Because they're really coming into prominence
Oh, yeah,
now,
yeah,
right? All
yeah.
those comics with Guardians
All
of
of
the
a sudden,
Galaxy.
everyone knows who Thanos is.
Someone
Yeah.
knows who Thanos. Even our librarians who aren't into comics are like, oh yeah, Thanos. Like,
Yeah.
he's made it.
Yeah, that's right.
He's in the
He hit the big time.
mainstream.
Yeah.
But these were a lot of the stuff that you kind of visually created.
Yeah. Well, I designed some of them, but
give yourself some credit. But like we're seeing worlds that you drew a long time ago.
Yeah. Stuff that
So
it's
do you
crazy.
approve of what they're doing with them on the big screen?
I like it because it's different. I mean, everyone wants these to be faithful versions of it, and like some of my friends, like if it's not exactly like the comics, they're like, "It's terrible. I don't watch it." But for me, it's a different medium. So I like it. As long as it's not like they don't mess it up big time.
Mess it up big time.
Like Galactus in the last FF movie when he's like Cloud. Nah, that one's so good.
Okay, so you draw the line somewhere.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Marvel movies because
Yeah.
we're in the age of Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Do you have favorites? Do you have ones that you
Of
think
the-
are better than others?
The movies?
Yeah, the movies. I realize you draw for Marvel, so I don't know if you can
I can
be
say.
openly. Okay.
I like a lot of them actually. My favorite one's, I guess, the Guardians of the Galaxy. I like those a lot. I like them. I like a lot of them actually because they all kind of weave together.
And it's hard not to watch one.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to Thor Ragnarok?
Yes. I just finished the kids' book on that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I kind of know the plot, but not really because they'll let me do half of it, right? Because they don't want to spoil the ending.
Yeah.
So I never know how it ends.
So you're still going to be surprised.
Yeah. So half of it will be really good.
So visually, when you see like Thanos and stuff in the movies, does he kind of look how you imagine? Do you see your influence at all in him?
Sometimes, not so much. Well, the latest pictures of Thanos, he looks like he's wearing just like regular clothes or something. So that's a little different. Not quite how I imagined him, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, they tweak everything. All the costumes for the movies are great, but they're like so intricate. They're almost too much to draw all the time. So like if this was designed for comics, that would not cut it because it's just way too complicated. Those Iron Man suits are just nuts. I had to draw like all the suits for the kids' books, every single suit. What a nightmare that was. Because I mean, they're so detailed because they're not meant to be drawn. They're designed for the movies where they digitally put it in the computer.
Right.
It just makes it on its own, you know.
Yeah, that's actually a really interesting point. So when you do like character design, do you get to do a lot of character design, or is it mostly like
sometimes
this is Iron Man?
No, sometimes it all depends on what character or what book you're working on.
So do you think like I'm not gonna put this fancy shirt on this person because I'm gonna have to draw it like 80 times?
Yeah, it's true. It's like I wouldn't put like detailed chainmail on somebody if I'm gonna have to draw it every panel.
Yeah,
because that would not be good. I'd be doing that for days. So yeah, so I like to design it so it's a strong visual look, but not too detailed. That's not gonna help anybody. I mean, if it's like I said, if it's for the movies, it's fine because you have to draw once or design it once, and that's it.
Yeah, well, it's similar to animation, right?
Yeah.
You have to like keep the character designs a little simpler.
Exactly, like Spider-Man. It shrinks this small, he has no webs anymore. It's true. You watch the cartoons like, hey, his webs are gone.
Yeah, where'd he go? There's no lines on his.
It's too much detail.
So is there any particular detail on a character that, as like the most veteran artist of all, you still struggle with?
Well, that I don't like to draw?
Yeah, like you don't like to draw. You're like, another hand. Like,
Well, there's a character named Jack of Hearts. Yeah. He's no fun.
What's wrong with him?
His costume is just it's like all like card designs all over it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a mess. So in fact, when I drew him in Surf, I redesigned a suit. I'm not drawing that every issue. So yeah.
What did you redesign it to?
Really simple costume. Just
all
more
black,
like
unitard.
No, just like a metallic armored kind of thing.
Oh.
Yeah. It still had a heart motif, but it
wasn't like cars.
Because the original suit has like these like collar thingies and has like hearts and spades and stuff all over him. I mean, literally all over him.
Did you ever think about calling the original artist and being like, what the heck, dude?
No.
So actually, how much do you talk with other Marvel artists?
Not very often, actually.
Really?
Because all of us live in like these, we live at home and we're working.
Because you're just
studios.
at home scanning in your pages.
Yeah, exactly. Late at night. So I mean, I don't talk to hardly any. I talk more to inkers because they're who I work with on a regular basis. But pencilers, like everyone thinks I know pencilers. I hardly know any pencilers. I mean, I know them, but they're not my friends.
No, yeah.
I see them at conventions and it's like, hey, you. Yeah, I know your work.
Yeah. But then you work more closely with inkers because they're
inkers and the colorists and stuff like that, and the writers, of course. So yeah.
So when you work with inkers and colorists, do they ever like come back to you and are like, oh, Ron, we don't really like how you did this. We want to like change it like this. Or do you guys go back and forth, or is it you just pass it on?
Not really, because the inkers don't really want to change things, but their line work makes a big difference. So depending on how they do it, they'll ask me like, do you want it inked more, with thicker lines or thinner lines or that kind of thing. So it's not really. They don't make too many changes. I mean, some do change it, but they don't ask. They just change it. And I can see it in print. I'm like,
I don't remember drawing that.
That's not the face I drew. Oh, well, what are you going to do? It used to bother me before when I first started because, I mean, that's my work, right?
Right.
20 years later.
Now you're just relaxed about
That's just another page.
Let's go back to we were talking about the cosmic universe a little bit before. So that was a pretty like niche-y part of the Marvel fandom.
Yeah.
For the comics hipsters in the audience, could you tell us what like the next like really obscure part of the Marvel universe we're gonna find out about, and is something gonna be really popular?
There's tons of characters that haven't been introduced yet. So most people don't even know who they are. Like Adam Warlock's the main character. He's a major character in all the cosmic stuff, but he hasn't even been introduced yet. So I don't know how they're going to introduce him in the movies.
Do you think that you want to see him though?
Well, they hinted at him already, so I'm sure he's coming. Because at the end of
no
what was it? Guardians 2, right? The cocoon, right? You see the cocoon thing? That's Adam Warlock in there.
Oh.
Yeah. Surprise!
Yay! I know.
Spoilers! I'm not a spoiler.
Anyone else that you think like, oh, it'd be really cool if this part, like this character or this part of the Marvel universe opened up?
Yeah, well, there's so many characters that, like the Nova Corps in the movies. There's actually a Nova character that's like the main character in Marvel for you, but they haven't introduced him at all. So I don't know. I have no idea what they're going to do with these characters. But I think they kind of have to condense it because it's such a big. The cosmic thing is so big. There's no way they can put into at least one movie.
Well, they don't want to make one. They want to make like 25.
Yeah, exactly. They'll drag it out.
I think they'll probably be okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a little bit what influenced you. You said you like loved Fantastic Four, right?
Yeah. Artists. Well, when I grew up, my favorite artists were guys like John Byrne, George Perez, Jim Starlin. Those are my three primary favorites. I read everything that they drew. It didn't matter what it was. I'd read it. So those are my favorites. They're the biggest influence. Comic characters are like Fantastic Four, Surfer. I did tend to go towards more of the science fiction stuff. So that's probably why I end up drawing so much cosmic stuff. They typecast me. I liked it though. That's my favorite stuff. So that's all right.
So those were kind of things that influenced you as you were like growing up, and becoming an artist.
Yeah.
So what influences you now? Like, what do you see that you're like excited about, and that you're like, oh, I kind of love how they did that?
Other artists still, like new artists that I like, the stuff that still makes me think about their work. That's movies also. I'm a big movie fan, so movies have an influence.
Oh, can
and
you
video
tell
games
us
even
like
more so.
your favorite movies that influence you?
But the same ones influence everybody.
Yeah,
else.
go ahead.
I like Star Wars, right? The Star Wars
okay.
movies, like Indiana Jones movies, like.
Of course.
I like.
High Adventure.
Yeah. What else? That's just tons.
Okay, video games. You said.
Video games. Don't get me started.
No, let's get started. What do you play?
Well, I play Destiny 2 right now, right?
Okay.
I play The Division, right? I play what else? The Dark Souls games.
Oh,
yes,
I hear those are extremely difficult.
Yeah. So when I'm not drawing, I'm sweating over that video game. But yeah, so I mean, visually those are cool because they have to have like a universe that they build, right? And so that kind of gives me kind of ideas of what to do, especially like Destiny because it's a sci-fi environment as well. So that gives me cool ideas. Dark Souls is a different genre. So
you like strong world building stuff.
Yeah. If it's I don't play any of like the what do you call it, like platformer type stuff, that kind of thing. Well, not to mention my reflexes aren't so good. So yeah.
And then are there any? We talked a lot about Marvel.
Yeah.
Let's talk about. You mentioned at the beginning there's so many other publishers that are at work right now. Is there any like publisher or like comic at another publisher besides Marvel that you are like excited about right now or that you think is really great?
That I'm reading right now?
Yeah. Just tell us what you're reading.
I don't know what I'm reading now.
I know you don't have time to read because you're playing
exactly.
Dark Souls and penciling.
I still read some. At Marvel, I'm like in the Thor right now, the current Thor. Guardians is still pretty good. What else do I read? Gosh, I kind of read a variety. I don't read the stuff that's tied into continuity too much because they have all these crossovers now with everything.
Seems very burdensome.
Yeah, it's like I don't have time for that. So, like when I do these covers, right? It's like it's all tied into continuity. I don't read any of this stuff. I mean, I kind of read it, but not really, right? So I have to see. Send me a reference.
Yeah, do they send you stuff?
Oh, yeah. They know. I mean, there's no way we keep up with all of it because it changes so much.
Yeah. So what else are you reading? Like books, comics, whatever. Give us the inside on Ron Lim.
Yeah. What else? I sleep a lot.
I wish I sleep more.
Yeah. I haven't read a novel in years though, so. No novels.
Comics are faster.
Comics, magazines, internet.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So while we're talking about these other publishers and stuff, how are times changing in the comics industry? I feel like every year there's like furor over like, oh, the comics industry is dying or it's coming back to life and we can't get new readers, but look at all these kids' comics. So
it's true.
Where do you think we're at?
I mean, I know they're doing better now than they have in quite a few years, so that's good. I don't know though. It's changed a lot. It doesn't seem like because before in the old times, Marvel wrote for both older and younger fans. So, I
Right.
mean, so young kids could read it and get it. They don't get all the all the symbolism, whatever else that has
All
for
the subtext.
adults. Yeah. But now it seems like a lot of this are so complex and so deep, that I don't think kids will get into it, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
'cause pick up a Spider-Man title, and I mean, there's a lot of great ones, but some of them are so like it's not Spider-Man, But it's everyone has a different take on it,
Right.
So I mean, and there's so many different titles that like Batman has like 18 million titles every month. So I mean, you
Yeah.
can pick one that you like, right? Because they're all different. There's like some focusing on his family, some focusing on the detective side of it. Same thing with Spider-Man, all those characters. So yeah.
Yeah, so because Marvel has drawn some criticism for catering more to like the older adult fans and
Yeah.
not like cultivating.
That's
new
why I think
fans.
that's why they're doing the younger readers type of titles now, which is good because it's more like the old school Marvel stuff in a way.
Yeah,
'cause
I'm guessing from what you're saying that you enjoy working on those fun ones.
No, I like working on. Yeah, I mean, I prefer that as opposed to the more. Because a lot of it, if you look at a lot of superhero titles now, don't even have action in them, which I love, but it's like talking heads,
Yeah.
which is fine. But I don't want every issue of talking because it's no fun to draw. Frankly, I mean, for me, it's like I can only draw Reed Richards' head talking so many times.
Gotta get cool poses.
Yeah.
So actually, I want to ask you a question. This is totally self-indulgent because it's my question
Okay.
about drawing action scenes. I saw on Twitter recently another artist, Faith Erin Hicks, was saying on Twitter how she has a lot of trouble drawing action scenes in American comics, and she thinks that manga have like so many more pages to
Right.
draw out action over.
Right.
And I was like, I'm gonna sit down with Ron Lim.
Oh, for action scenes,
Yeah,
right?
for action.
It's true. I mean, in our comics now, they give us because manga, they can expand it for 10 pages for a fight scene, right? We get like 1-2 panels at most. We have to show the most dynamic shot, hitting him in the face, whatever, and that's it. So I mean, in a way, because even in the older comics, they'd give us more room to breathe with the fight scenes. But now it's like they want to cram so much story in. It's like we don't have room for the action. That's not as important to
Yeah.
them. As a kid, I mean, that's what I grew up liking. So it's like, where's Namor punching the thing in the head?
Need
So
more
it's like,
punching
yeah.
pages.
I mean, and I like the more adult stuff as well, but it's just like you gotta have both, I think, So
Yeah, and so you've been doing a lot of illustrations for kids stuff.
Yeah.
What has been your favorite of those? Because you've been doing like the easy readers, the covers for those,
All
and
of them,
some,
yeah.
and some of the chapter books. And our
Right.
kids at the library love those.
Oh, is it
books.
really? Oh,
Yes,
cool.
they
That's
do.
great. That's great. I liked working on all of them, but I do a lot of the movie tie-ins, so those are fun.
Mhm.
But one of my favorite ones, the one that you have out there, is the one with the kind of like the encyclopedia version of the Marvel,
Oh,
with all
yeah.
the different characters. That's kind of cool because it has all the stats for all the characters. And stuff.
Yeah.
As a kid, I used to love the reading those.
All the details.
The thing can he can lift like 500 tons. That's awesome.
But then, okay, so those kind of details, though, you're like, I love reading them, but like, do you take them into account when you're drawing? You're
No.
like, this isn't realistic. Thor couldn't lift this.
No, well, 'cause the writers change it every time they write a script. Like one story, Surfer can do almost anything, right? In other stories, he's like way weaker. So the power levels all depend on the writer. It's all fake,
Does that bother you? Does that bother you?
It bothers me when because they have this one story. Okay, this one bothered me. In one story, they had the Black Panther taking out the Silver Surfer,
Uh-huh.
which I think is like physically impossible. There's no way. He puts him in a headlock. I'm like, who wrote this?
Get
Maybe
someone
explain
on
the
the
story.
phone, be like, I need to talk to someone
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah, but
So I think I want to open it up for questions too,
Oh.
because we have so many eager fans out here. But I want to talk really quick about growing diversity in comics, because
Yeah.
that has been a big issue in recent years. And
Right.
Marvel has really been like trying to push that
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Miss Marvel and Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur and
Right.
like the new Thor,
Yeah,
Girl
yeah.
Thor.
Yeah, which is great.
So I kind of like, what is your take on it? Do you think they're doing a good job? What would you like to see more of?
Yeah, I think they're doing good. They're trying. So that's good. But I mean, obviously, they got more. I think it's looking better. I don't think it's at the perfect spot yet, but it's getting better. I mean, there's so many more diverse comics out there now, which you wouldn't have seen like 5 years ago at all. So I mean, and now with the Captain Marvel movie coming out, that's gonna make things even more, which would be great. Like Black Widow, I thought should have had a movie a long time ago. I don't
Yeah,
understand.
right? Who thinks Black Widow should have a movie? Thank you. Well, maybe after Wonder Woman. Did you see the Wonder
Yes,
Woman
yes,
movie?
I did
you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
But
had
the-
Wonder Woman charging tanks, which is like.
Yeah, Wonder Woman's great. I loved it. Yeah, good movie.
Okay, I think we should open it up for questions before I let you go. Does anyone have a question for Ron Lim? Right over there.
Yes?
You want to think about it? Okay. Does anyone else have a question?
You gotta admit that Marvel doesn't really shine strongly in their animated series like DC does. You ever wish that they did? I mean,
Well, of course.
The 90s Spider-Man and of course the 90s X-Men.
Right. Yeah, you know what? Those cartoons now are geared more towards kids, I think, because my son loves them. So I can't. Yeah. but I mean, in terms of like, because the DC animated stuff is more adult oriented, I think. Especially now. I mean, some of them are even rated R, which is kind of surprising to me. I was like, what was the last one just came out? Isn't the one just came out?
The Batman.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Was that that was
That was PG-13. It was the Killing Joke. That was rated R.
That's what it was. Okay, yeah, yeah. Well, I was kind of surprised, you know, because it's Batman, right? Rated R Batman. That's kind of bizarre. But yeah, I mean, the Marvel movies always seem like more of a priority. At least it seems at Marvel. So the movies, then the animated stuff. The animated stuff's getting better, I think, because their older stuff was. I really didn't care for that stuff at all. But the DC stuff, they've always been better with the animated stuff. Yeah.
Do you guys have a question over here?
Oh,
Yeah. Was it like drawing on these children's books as well?
yeah.
How is it working on the books, like in terms of like scheduling and timing and pay, like all the different?
It comes out. It's kind of different. I mean, the schedules are different, and then pay-wise, it can be good or bad because some jobs are easier because they're more simple. They're just illustrations. Other times, like the movie stuff, is a pain because there's so much detail. There's so much reference. There's so much. It's a lot more time-consuming than the regular comic stuff.
Okay, actually, I want to ask you a question about these kids' books because I was reading a Thor one recently that didn't follow like the movie canon. It was like, oh, and Thor is a doctor, and this is his name, and I was like, kids don't even know this because they've only seen the
that's
movies.
right, that's right.
Like, what's the thinking?
Well, there's two lines because there's a line they call the movie stuff, right? Then they have the evergreen line, which is their comics kind of line. That they follow the comic stuff on that line. The
Okay.
movie stuff is so that's totally the comic side of it because that's that Don Blake, Dr.
Right.
Don Blake, right?
Well, I
Yeah.
was like,
no one even knows who he is anymore. He's not even in the comics anymore.
Oh, really?
He hasn't been in the comics in like. I've never drawn him. That's how long he's been not in the comics.
We have a new Thor book in our library that has him. in
Really?
it. Yes. Someone, you need to get on the phone with her.
Yeah, dovetailing all that. I was wondering. By the way, longtime fan.
Oh, thanks.
90s. I have X-Men 2099.
Yes.
Still waiting for the return. Wait a long time. So since you were, drawing comics as a story, like just an ongoing artist, and then now you do a lot of cover art and the children's books which I've seen in stores, and they're like, hey, that's Ronin's art.
Yeah.
Like, how did you transition from one to the other? So now your priority seems to be away from the sequence, series.
Well, it's my editor. Cause my editors called me out of the blue one day and said, "Hey, do you want to work on this Iron Man kids book based on the movie?" I love the movie, so I said, "Yeah, I'll work on that." And then the editors liked what I did on the books, the kids book stuff, so they started giving me more work. That's how. And so I ended up doing more of the kids stuff because they were just giving me job after job. So I was like, "All right, it was fun." And plus, like one of the fringe benefits is I get to see all the Marvel movie stuff early, like way early, like all the designs, all the.
That's not a fringe benefit. That's like a benefit.
So I was like, keep it coming. So yeah, but I can't. On the flip side, I can't show or tell anything, so it's kind of a double-edged sword. So I really love it, but I was like, I can't say anything about it. So yeah.
So I'm curious, like, how did you get into drawing? Was it something that you kind of just were born with the talent and just drew all the time
As a kid, yeah. I mean, as a kid, I constantly drew. I mean, it didn't matter what. I mean, even in class, like after tests, I'd flip the paper over and draw on the back. It got to the point where my teacher would look for them and say, "Hey, look, your drawings on the back." It's like, all right. So yeah, I mean, I drew all the time. I mean.
Did you like pursue that and then eventually became your career, or kind of just stumbled upon it?
No. I mean, I've been trying to get into comics ever since I was a kid, right? So I did samples. I'd submit them to Marvel and DC. I'd get rejection letter back saying, try back in a year. Your stuff's pretty good, but it's not quite there yet. So then I majored in graphic arts, and then so I got a degree in that. But in my junior year in Sac State, I actually got hired by Marvel that year. So from then on, that was it. Yeah. Hi. Oh.
When can we see you in the Marvel movies like we do with Stan Lee?
Yeah.
Yeah, any
No.
upcoming cameos?
No. Not unless you see him at the theater watching a movie with you. No.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Who do you think has better stories, DC or Marvel?
That's objective. I don't know. I think they both have great stories. I mean, it depends on what you like, you know. It depends on the writers and stuff. I mean, I follow creators more than I do just the company thing. So if there's writers I like or artists I like, I tend to follow that more than or characters too. Yeah, so I like them both. Oh, yes. Painting? No. If you saw me color, you'd know why. not my strong point.
Yeah, if any of you guys were at Ron's signing, he did the art on all our covers, and we have the little process. I think we still have the poster up over there that has his original sketch. I love it, and it's
great.
like
Yeah.
Groot sitting on books, and then the inked version, and then someone else colored
That was cool.
it. So
Yeah.
you can see the whole little process that
Yeah.
we went through if you pick up
Yeah.
one of those. I think. Did we have a question over there? Oh, right here.
Hey, long-time fan myself.
Oh, thanks.
And I think it was really cool that you mentioned that you got into it because you were a fan yourself.
Yeah.
You grew up on guys like Starlin and Perez.
Yeah.
So what was it like to finally get to work with them, like on the writing on that?
Yeah, it was awesome. Starlin was my main idol growing up because I love like cosmic stuff. Go figure. And so when they told me that he's taking over Surfers, right, I was like, what? So that was great. And then when they told me they're bringing out Thanos at the same time, I was like, what? So yeah, it was pretty awesome. And he's a great guy. So he's like one of the guys that when I met him, I didn't go, what the,
Yeah.
He wasn't disappointed at all.
He
was
lived
great.
up to your expectations.
Yeah, so he's really great.
That's
So yeah, and Perez, I met Perez a couple times. He's nice. He's a great guy too. And I never met Burns though. So wow, I may have met him, but just briefly. Yeah.
I saw like a really shy hand go up over there.
Oh, that's right. I did, huh? That's a long time ago though.
All right, we're almost at the end of our time. I think we have time for like one or two more questions. Right here.
So outside of comics and family, like what are your passions? Like what would you spend your free time doing?
Well, I like movies. I'm a big movie watcher. Video
But you can't talk
games.
about them all because you see them too early.
Well, just Marvel movies. And what else? That's about it, probably. I mean, I do, like I said, family stuff. But outside of that, yeah, movies. I like to read too. I like to read a lot of stuff, but not novels. It's not novels.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. One last question.
Who are some of your favorite inkers to work with?
Oh, inkers. I have quite a few inkers I like, but Terry Austin's my favorite inker. I love working with him. Who else do I like? There's a lot of guys I liked. I mean, Rubenstein, I liked working with him on Surfer. Al Milgram, he inked a lot of my Infinity stuff. Those are all my favorite guys.
What are the differences in your backgrounds versus an inker?
What do you mean?
Like as far as, are inkers drawing all the time?
Like
Oh.
what makes a penciler and what makes an inker?
Different skill sets. I mean, because even though I draw the stuff, my main job is storytelling. I mean, I have to make the panels flow, panel to panel story. I mean, back in the day, they told me you have to draw it so that people can tell what's going on without any word buildings on the page. So that's what we do. The inker, the final line is his. I mean, so depending on how he inks or he or she inks, then that depends. I mean, the better the inker, the better the line work. That's basically it. I mean, there's inkers that I love and inkers that, yeah.
Oh.
But we won't go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I guess what I'm asking is, would they also have a drawing background?
Oh yeah. Well, they tend to be better if they have a drawing background, of course, because some pencils don't pencil as tight, and then they have to kind of interpret the line work and then ink it all in themselves. Yeah.
Okay, I think we're almost out of time unless anyone has like something super duper pressing that they're gonna cry themselves to sleep tonight if they don't ask Ron. Okay, thank you guys
Thanks.
all so much for coming.
Thanks.
Big hand for Ron. I can't believe he's here at our library. This is ridiculous.
Thanks.
We have some posters by the door. You guys feel free to get one on your way out. Our con is almost over, so if you have any last stuff you want to grab, if you want to grab any of Ron's books, head next door. And thank you guys all so much for being here.